Properly pitching your tent also means picking the right orientation. Hi everyone, my name is Alex. Today I'm going to give you some tips on how to make your first bivouac a success. Bivouacking means capturing the moment, spending time with friends and being surrounded by nature. But above all, it's living an adventure. We are going to look at how to prepare for a bivouac trip, how to find the perfect spot for your first bivouac, how to manage food supplies, get a full night's sleep, and also how to respect nature. But first, you will want to find the best spot with the most beautiful view. You can have a look in mountain hiking guides, as well as on the internet and social media, but remember that the most popular spots are bound to be the busiest too. That means that you might disturb biodiversity on top of being disappointed. By preparing your itinerary in advance, you will be able to easily set up your bivouac before nightfall and above all enjoy a beautiful sunset. Just ask yourself the following questions. What's the weather forecast? How difficult is the trail? Will we be able to get some water on the way or some food? The mountains are a place of freedom, but there are a few rules to follow. There are specific hours during which bivouacking is permitted, and that's generally between sunset and sunrise. Also, ask yourself if you are on a private property, in which case you will need to get a permission from the landowner. Campfires are prohibited in certain countries, such as France, to preserve biodiversity. As a rule of thumb, you can't light a campfire in most parts of the UK, unless you are the landowner or have the landowner's permission. Spotting the perfect place to set up your bivouac can be a challenge, but you should try to find an area that meets the following criteria. A flat surface sheltered from the wind and with a clear view. As tempting as it might be to set up camp next to a water source, remember that it gets colder when you're close to the water. Also try to avoid hollows because the cold air sinks into the valley. Properly pitching your tent also means picking the right orientation, so you might want to choose where to pitch it based on the scenery of view. But you should also try to find a spot that is sheltered from the wind. Drive the pegs into the ground to secure the tent in place and protect yourself from the wind, but that's sometimes easier said than done. So a useful tip is to attach a stone at the end of the rope, and that's usually enough to stabilize your tent. Set up camp just before nightfall to make yourself even more comfortable and enjoy the sunset. Now that you are all set up, you can enjoy a nice meal together, but keep it simple when it comes to food. Use food that doesn't require any cooking, only boiling water. You will also save yourself from washing up. The next morning, you will need a nutritious breakfast. But don't overload your pack with boxes and only take reusable bags filled with whatever you need. Personally, I pack a bag of oatmeal with some seeds and have that with a cup of tea. You should always keep yourself hydrated when bivouacking or hiking. There are 3 different ways to treat water to avoid getting sick: filtering it, using purification tablets, or bringing water to the boil, provided of course that you are using clear water. Here's another tip to get a good night's sleep. Make sure to put all the food waste in a bag. Attach the bag quite far away to a tree. This way, you will avoid attracting animals. Here are a few things to consider now that you are ready to go to sleep. Make sure to cover yourself well. We all have different sleeping habits. Some might prefer to use earplugs or wear an eye mask to block out disturbing light. Others might want to use an inflatable pillow or use a piece of clothing instead. Remember also to keep your backpacking gear 100% dry. Keep your pack and, most importantly, your shoes inside the tent to avoid unpleasant surprises. But if you are sure about the weather forecast, I strongly recommend that you try sleeping under the stars. It's an incredible experience, as long as you protect your sleeping bag from moisture. Bivouacking is an experience where you become one with nature, but the rule of thumb is to leave no trace and to respect the habitats of plants and animals. It's easy to leave something behind, like a banana peel or toilet tissue. But neither nature nor the other hikers would appreciate that, so you have to bring everything back. Well, that's everything you need to know on how to make your first bivouac a beautiful experience. Visit Decathlon's YouTube channel if you want any more advice or tips. Enjoy the hike!